Christie's is delighted to be offering works from the collection of John C. Whitehead in the spring sales. Mr. Whitehead began to collect art in the late 1970s, towards the end of his long and distinguished business career. And from that moment onwards, he dedicated a lot of his time to building his collection, seeking out those works which spoke to him the most, and surrounding himself, both at home and at his various business addresses, with the works of art he'd selected. Among the highlights of the John C. Whitehead collection is Modigliani's portrait of Beatrice Hastings, painted in 1916. Beatrice was a forceful character, an English-born writer who was as strong a character as the artist himself, and they had a passionate on-off love affair which lasted over several months and saw Modigliani paint her frequently. In the present work, the influences of Cubism and of African art are to be found, and it is work that also goes beyond stylization. In a lovely moment, we see that Beatrice has different coloured eyes. The painting soon passed into the collection of Paul Guillaume, himself a great collector of African art, and it stayed with Guillaume until his death in the 1940s. Claude Monet's Morning Landscape, painted in 1888, near Giverny, is a work of great sensory charm. It comes from a short series of paintings Monet executed of a large, flat field where he and his family picnicked during the course of that summer. It stands out from other works in the series in the fact that it's not populated, and Monet has made it very much a study in light effects, the splash of sunlight in the middle ground, and the very Japanese-influenced screen of branches coming in at the upper right. It's also a painting of delicious physical presence, a richly worked surface that comes to us today as fresh as the day it left the artist's easel. Among Mr. Whitehead's favourite works was Renoir's Portrait of a Young Boy. This pastel is a characteristic homage from Renoir to the artists of the 18th century and their pastel portraits, but it also betrays all of Renoir's Impressionist practice. He has used the colours across the sheet in a lively, free and open way, and very much gives the young boy a sense of innate vivacity. Debate has long raged over the sitter in this present work. Current scholarship would suggest that it may well be André Bérard, the son of one of Renoir's most important patrons in the late 1870s. Theo van Rysselberghe's Seascape from 1889, which depicts the coast off Brittany, probably painted during the artist's honeymoon, is a wonderful example of early period pointillism. Van Rysselberghe had been struck by the experiments of Seurat and Signac when he visited Paris in 1886, and he took their style of divisionism, of optical mixture, back to Brussels with him. The present work is one of a very small group of paintings that date from the later 1880s, when Van Rysselberghe's divisionist practice was at its zenith. It remained in the same family collection for over a century until it was bought by Mr. Whitehead in 1989. Camille Pissarro's jewel-like drawing, Fiacre sur le boulevard Montmartre, was executed in 1897. It relates to the series of paintings Pissarro executed at the same time of the motif as we look down the boulevard. Pissarro had long turned away from Paris, and it was only at this time in the mid-1890s, towards the end of his long and brilliant career, that he dedicated a great deal of attention back to France's capital city. He seemed to be fascinated by the teeming life of the boulevard and the atmospheric effects of the weather. The present drawing surely must rank among the most complete of Pissarro's works on paper, and despite its small scale, it's rich in intricate detail.